I tried several great builds to discover which was the most effective against defeating Octavian the Militia Captain in solo combat. After multiple battles, I'm going to see which build worked the best and which one you should use to defeat him. Octavian has been a monumental pain in my ass for the longest time, so I infiltrated his stronghold disguised as a lowly peasant, and with my new insane skill combinations, I plan to show him who's the boss. Excuse me sir, just coming through. Good evening sir, yes it's a lovely day for a walk. My. You're a big fella. The first build is the Life Leech build, which uses Veil of Blood travel ability, as this gives you 5% of your maximum health back from your first successful primary attack. Also, from the Blood ability page, I'm using Sanguine Coil, as this also gives 40% health on hit and has 3 charges. I've also selected from the Unholy page the Purgatory ability, as this gives an instant AoE heal of 40% spell power, followed by an AoE damage and another AoE heal. As I don't have an ultimate ability that provides any healing, I picked Merciless Charge, which deals magic damage, followed by an AoE magic damage and stun on impact. The idea with this build was that if I can't avoid his attacks, then maybe I could heal my way through the fight. The next build that I tried was the Shields Up build. This uses the Veil of Frost travel ability from the Frost page, as it gives a shield on use, a bonus to my next basic attack, and an AoE chill with damage. Also from the Frost page, I used Frost Barrier, as this would both block damage and spawn up to 8 waves of frost which damage and chill each time the shield is struck. From the Blood page, I decided on Crimson Aegis, as this provides a very strong shield and a knockback. I took the Spectral Guardian from the Illusion page as my ultimate because the Ethereal Golem will apply a shield multiple times over 7 seconds. This build I wanted to attempt to mitigate Octavian's damage to make his attacks completely worthless. I decided that the following build would be more focused on damage, and as such this is my burn build. This build uses Veil of Bones travel ability from the Unholy page, as the next attack launches a projectile in the cursor direction, whether you hit something or not. The projectile bounces between a maximum of 4 targets and does just 25% damage, but does add a debuff to targets hit that increases the damage they take by 25%. All the abilities I'm taking are from the Chaos page, starting with Aftershock, which is an AoE ability that does magic damage and inflicting a Chaos Burn. Chaos Volley, which has 2 consecutive shots both doing damage and applying a Chaos Burn, and finally Chaos Barrage as the ultimate, which is very similar to the Chaos Volley, except it does have 4 projectiles. With this build, my idea was to try and keep a constant Chaos Burn on Octavian and taking advantage of the damage increase from the Veil of Bones travel ability. The trade-off is less survivability, but my idea was that he can't hurt me if he's burning in hell. I previously designed a build to fight Frostmourne the Mountain Terror and Jade the Vampire Hunter, and I call the build my Stop Hitting Yourself build. This is a really fun build and I wanted to see if it was effective against Octavian. This build uses Veil of Illusion from the Illusion page, as it's a travel ability, as the illusion will throw a projectile and recast will return me to my original position and spawn another illusion. The build uses Ward of the Damned from the Unholy page, which increases movement speed, blocks attacks and spawns a skeleton for every block projectile or attack. The other ability is Chaos Barrier from the Chaos page, which fires a projectile back at the target for each attack it absorbs for 75% of the damage, and this projectile inflicts Chaos Burn. Finally, Chaos Barrage, also from the Chaos page, as the ultimate. The build was designed to reflect powerful single attacks back at the enemy while causing a little chaos with the skeletons who draw aggro and allow the cooldown of my other abilities. It's a slower paced build, but the method should wear the opponent down over time without taking too much damage. I tried many more builds and I died time and time again. And these are the builds that I found were the most fun. But the problem I had was that none of them were actually good enough. I was driving myself to the brink of frustration when the answer clicked. I couldn't beat Octavian with my mechanical skill. I had to outsmart him. It comes down to the strategy. The strategy, which I'll name the Hide and Seek Octavian strategy, uses all of its spells from the Chaos page, with Chaos Veil for the travel ability, Chaos Volley, Aftershock and Chaos Barrage. It makes sense to open with Chaos Barrage as it's got a crazy long cooldown, so may as well get the damage out of there while he stood still. Within the trading area there's a side area with some chests and boxes which leads out to the back exit of the camp. I'm going to dodge in and out of this area with my Chaos Veil to put the fence between me and Octavian. I figured that the shields worked really well, but I was exposed when they were on cooldown, but the fence shield has no such cooldown. As I dodged in and out of the doorway, it was my expectation that he'd follow me and I'd pre-fire my abilities in the direction of the door. I missed a few, but for the most part I was hitting him. Throughout the fight, Octavian will summon support in the form of archers who will shoot fire arrows at you. You don't want to be anywhere near the smaller enclosed area when he summons them, as I can assure you, you do not want to get trapped in there with everything on fire. Trust me, I figured that out the hard way. So when he summons his supports, then dodge back into the main area until the archer is deleted. If he says, "Here's an old trick," then you want to be on the other side of the fence to him, and he gives you the opportunity to use Blood Mend. One thing to be aware of is that you can take advantage of the wall behind the fence for additional cover if you need time for your cooldowns to cool down. When it comes to your weapon choices, and while I don't think your weapon is overly significant, I feel that the Reaper allows you a little extra range damage on top of your spell damage, and the Slashers would give you a little bit more flexibility with the positioning due to the camouflage ability. You really don't want to be fighting him in this enclosed area as he can go nuts in a small space. Again, I learned this the hard way. If you find yourself in the same position as I did, then I recommend using your dash to dash right through him. You'll probably take some damage, but it's better than taking all the damage.
I don't think there's any coming back this time.
In all honesty, I'm not sure if it was the Chaos Burn that killed him or the fire from his own archer. He was going to die as soon as he came through the doorway anyway, but it was satisfying to hear him whimpering from behind the fence. I was able to freely waltz through the doorway and feed on his delicious fee blood. I'm going to give you a recommendation in just a moment, but I want to say thanks to my members. I appreciate you wanting to support me on a monthly basis. I want to thank all my subscribers for letting me know they want to see more of my videos in the future. I want to thank everyone who clicks the like, as it lets me know that I'm doing something right. And finally, thanks in advance to anyone who hits that thank you button just below. If anyone would like to join my Discord, then there's a link in the description. Anyone who joins now will receive a founder title, and this will give the same exclusive access that you get as a member on the channel. And on the screen, you'll see a video, and I recommend you go watch that now.